Oh, hey guys. Today we'll be doing a Windows 10 install on the Acer Swift. The model is SF314-42. If you follow my cursor here, it's pretty simple to follow, and this is a pretty simple installation. The only problem is in the beginning of the install, by default, Acer doesn't enable the F12 function keys. So what we'll have to do is we'll actually have to go into the BIOS and enable the F12 function key so that you can actually detect your USB Windows 10, drive, or if you have a USB, DVD burner or whatever, that they're trying to boot off. But most people now these days will just actually create a Windows 10 install disk straight from Microsoft. So the first thing you want to do is when you're powering up your system, just push on the F2 key. And if you hold it down for a couple seconds right at the power up, it should actually bring you into the BIOS, which is this menu here. Here, I'll enlarge this for you guys here. And as you can see by default, it goes into the information tab. So what you want to do is use your left and right arrow key and move it one more to the right, which is the main section here. So if you look down 4 notches down, you'll see that the F12 function key here is set to disable. So what you want to do is just use your down arrow key, move down until you see the F12 is highlighted, and move it down to enable from disable, and then just press enter. It will prompt you to you know, you know, to make the changes if you want, which you have to anyways. Just say yes to it, and then all you have to do afterwards is just move your left and right arrow key to the exit tab, which is on the far right, and move it down once to the exit saving changes, and then when the BIOS prompts you to save the changes, make sure you say yes, and then once you are saving your changes, it'll automatically reboot, the system into to the new splash screen. So once you reboot out of this BIOS menu, make sure that you hold down the F12 key, because this is the F12 function key that you just enabled that allows you to for the system to pick up your installed disk from a USB flash drive or a USB, a DVD burner that you plug it into your system. So once you press on the F12 key, this is what you should show up. So in my situation here, you're going to see you only have two options. There's the Windows Boot Manager, which we're not going to choose. I've already moved down to the option 2 because that's what I actually have, a Kingset Data Traveler that has my Windows 10. The image is built onto that I made from Microsoft. So if you have an OZZ or Kingston or or ADATA or other brands that you have as a flash drive, just choose whatever device you actually have plugged into your USB port, and then you go through the Windows installation from there. And the good thing is with this specific model in Windows 10, you don't need to visit acer.com or .ca to download the drivers, because Windows will actually install all of the drivers for you for this, and I'll explain this a little bit later. So once you go through the Windows 10 install, just go through the 3 or 4 or 5 screens before you get to this. Just agree with the licensing, click next, next, next a couple of times. It's just pretty straightforward. And once you do get to this menu here for first time installers, just remember that you will see a bunch of partition that's here. So I'm assuming that you've already backed up your data, and if you want to reinstall your Windows, you have to remember to delete all of your partitions in this partition table list here. So make sure that you delete all of these 4 partition table here, and in this list here, and then once you get to this, once you delete all 4, like in my situation, my client here has a 500 gig hard drive. So once I deleted all of the 4 here, it will go into this. You'll just have one 500 gig hard drive, and then once you've done this, just click on the new. It will show you the size capacity of the drive, which most people would just choose one. I don't see the sense of partitioning these hard drives anymore now these days, because with Windows 10 or anything 8 and up, you have to delete all of your partitions anyways if you want to reload Windows. So you might as well just keep it as one. So once you go through all of these steps, I get to the Windows desktop for the very first time, just go to your Windows updates, and then don't just don't leave the Windows update. Let it load for about a good 30 seconds to a minute. And if you and once it populates and shows you all of the drivers or all of the updates is actually found, scroll down to the bottom of that list and you'll see like a view optional updates. And once you go into there, you will actually see that there's like a greater sound arrow, a sign arrow that you can actually click on. It will show you, I think for this model here, because I did this yesterday, I'm pretty sure there was 2 additional drivers that you had to select and put a check mark in it to make sure that you installed the drivers for the motherboard and everything else. and then you'll be done, and this is basically the finished product. So just remember, you don't need to go to acer.com. You don't need your Acer driver CD or anything, because Windows 10 will actually have and install all of the drivers for you. And if you wanted to check to make sure that all your drivers are installed, just check Device Manager, which is simple. Just go to your, at the bottom left of your Windows under the search, and just type in Device Manager, and it'll bring you straight there. And you should see a complete list of, with no exclamation marks or question marks, of any drivers that need to be installed once you've done all of the Windows update. And I think you might have to restart just once or twice, but it's a very quick install. And I think with this client here, I pretty well finished this within 15 or 20 minutes. That's including the time of installing the Windows from the outside of it, and partitioning it, not partitioning it, but deleting the partitions, going through the process of the Windows install too. So it's a very quick, install, and the system is pretty fast too. So that really helps. So I mean, I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, anyways, just just place it in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.